Dr. Jane had said, of research, but right now, research, like she said, takes time, but now it's been identified as one of the plants that can actually absorb a lot more carbon. Dr. Jane, I don't know, I'll just give you a minute or a second or 2 seconds to just chip in to what Carol was saying before I give Victor the chance to, yeah.
Yes, 2 seconds. I just want to respond to what both Carol and Sig were saying in terms of bamboo and water. And out of these many years of research, because I've been part of it, we've found that bamboo has a lot fewer issues in terms of diseases, for the simple fact that it is able to store the water, so it doesn't give in so easily to infections. So at the moment, bamboo as a crop doesn't have a lot of health issues, except the borers now when it is harvested. I just wanted to confirm the biology of diseases and the water stress and the warming and all that. It is all, it all interacts. Life interacts in itself. So bamboo is able, that fact that it's able to store water, is able to withstand some level of stress.
Okay. Thank you. Victor, talking to you about the strategy in as far as the association is concerned, maybe you could touch a little bit about that.
Okay, so first, let me bring out the relationship between the Bamboo Association of Kenya and the Kenya Forest Research Institute. So the Bamboo Association of Kenya was midwifed by the Kenya Forest Research Institute. And this was because of the many years of research that KEFRI had done and got to a point where they believed that they had packed and were now able to unveil the potential of bamboo. But then, just working with the KEFRI alone, that in itself would not bring in the reach to the common farmer out in a village in Turkana. So our current strategy is to work with the Kenya Forest Service, who are the custodians of the largest single block of bamboo in this country that, as Gordon said, is growing up in our water towers. How is it that that bamboo can be beneficial to spur industrial growth in as far as bamboo is concerned in this country? The second one is the Council of Governors, because that is where you are able to reach the grassroots in as far as bamboo commercialization and bamboo planting is concerned. And there are some counties that have done pretty well, that they are now facing off eucalypts from their water sources and replacing those ones with bamboo and indigenous trees that are friendly to waterways and water sources. The other one is what we are doing here today, talking to the country so that we demystify that bamboo is something that is alien. And just so that I can support that, as I said, each community in Kenya has a name for bamboo. For instance, the Swahilis call it mianzi. The Kisis call it chimoti. The Luos call it modi. The Isuka and the Idaho call it miere. The Banyores call it amatea, and so on and so forth. And when you cross over, even to neighboring countries, the Bagandas call it mabanda. The Burundis call it imisuna. So this means that bamboo has been part and parcel of our culture. And so to demystify the fact that bamboo is alien, bamboo is Indian, bamboo is Chinese, bamboo is Taiwanese, bamboo is from Singapore, we go back into indigenous knowledge. In these communities, what was bamboo used for? Yeah. And we found quite a lot that domestic animal pens were done out of bamboo. Our traditional huts were done out of bamboo. Bamboo was used as firewood. Yeah. Bamboo was used by the Kalenjin community to store their arrows. So it is the fact that industrialization kicked in, and the Chinese and the Indians picked it up faster and commercialized it. And Jen will tell you that at the time when the Kenya Forest Research Institute started doing research on bamboo, the Chinese also started at that time. It's only that they picked it up much faster than us and went on to make it what it has become into their economy today. Okay. And going to what Gordon has said, and Jen and Carol, the fast growth rate of bamboo. If you plant today any cash crop, it will take you, some cash crops will take you at least 5, 6, 7 years. But bamboo takes 3 years. At least at year 3, you can start using bamboo, say for producing toothpicks. So why should we import toothpicks in this country?
Jen will be I mean, Carol will be telling us why we are still actually importing toothpicks. Yeah, and even matchboxes for that matter. Yet, you know, bamboo is here with us, and well, Jen will be delving more into that. So thank you so much, Victor, for that elaborate explanation.
And if I may just add in something little. The strategy. Right now, KEFRI, INBA, and other stakeholders are working on introducing curriculum in our TVETs so that we are able to produce artisans who can actually use bamboo. So that when this young person leaves a village polytechnic, when they see a bamboo, they're seeing a product. Yes. Today, when these young guys see a fully grown eucalyptus, they're seeing timber. When they see bamboo, they're thinking about cans. Yes. So we need to get something that can spur the use of bamboo up to the grassroots level. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much. You know, Dr. Jain, bamboo, like we're talking about climate change mitigation, what is it about bamboo that makes it, can I say, the preferred choice for that matter, in as far as climate change mitigation is concerned, and especially when it comes to issues of emission? What is it about bamboo that stands out from the rest?
Thank you, Marie. One thing that stands out about bamboo, we have said, it starts from the fast growth. It's able to grow very quickly. In the process of the fast growth, it's also able to capture a lot of carbon dioxide from the environment and produce oxygen, which ends up in purifying the air. And also in terms of the capturing and storing, and the fact that you're able to remove bamboo at a fast rate, you're also storing the carbon. So bamboo has fast growth. It is the fastest growing plant, I said yesterday, on Earth. It is in the Guinness Book of Records, growing almost to a meter per day, to a height of 30 meters within a very short time. So in terms of climate change, the choice of bamboo, and also it has a very extensive root system. There's below ground carbon and above ground carbon. And below ground, the root system of bamboo is also able to act as a stabilizer of soils, especially in the riparian areas, and is very useful in flood-prone areas to mitigate against disasters. So there are two main aspects: the fast growth, the fact that it's able to also absorb a lot more carbon dioxide, 40% than above the normal trees, and they produce a lot more oxygen faster than the normal plants. Okay,
and you know, I'll just follow it up with another question. Then, why has it taken so long, you know, for us to adapt it, or for the government to adapt it? You can see the advantages of bamboo. Okay, we've been told to plant trees as part of, you know, environment conservation, but I'm not so sure whether there is that push, because if you have a particular plant that has so much, you know, potential, and here we are grappling with climate change, I should think this should have been one of the issues that has been fronted.
Yes, thank you, Marie. As I said earlier, the debate on bamboo, is it a tree, is it a grass? When you go to the Forest Act, bamboo is actually classified. The problem is the classification of bamboo under the Forest Act, which is classified as a minor forest product. Being a minor forest product means that it doesn't receive a lot of attention, even a lot of funding. But now, with the bamboo being scheduled as a cash crop, it has changed the perspective, because now it is at the farm level. The farmers are asking for it. You know, it just policy change and the way we think. At the moment, also the foresters have now accepted that bamboo can be grown in plantations in the forest. And the Minister of Environment has been, in the last 4 years, working a lot and promoting bamboo, planting actually also bamboo a lot in the forest. So it is just a matter of what it was classified, neither tree nor a grass. And then if it is under the forest where it was domiciled for a long time, it's a minor forest product. So it's not something to focus on. But now, we are so grateful to our retired President, Uhuru Kenyatta, for pushing bamboo and to be a cash crop. It's the 16th cash crop in this country. So things will change.
Okay.
Marie, if I could just add that bamboo, like Victor had mentioned, you know, we using the names, you know, local dialects, we must have had bamboo. But apparently we did not move forward to utilize bamboo, you know, the way the Chinese have done, the way the Indians have done. So what is lacking now, and probably what could have, you know, not made bamboo move faster, is things like technology transfer. Of course, if you are converting timber, for example, into chair, the technology is already there and the machines, and you can do that pretty fast. Bamboo, you have to modify the equipment so that, you know, they are able to handle bamboo. Things like nailing, if you nail bamboo directly, it will split. So you have to drill and, you know, so those kind of basic technologies and is what is lacking. And then, of course, the other thing that people look at bamboo like, you know, if you don't have the technology now to handle bamboo properly, you'd think like it's a very weak, you know, material.
Yes.
But if you treat bamboo pole properly, and the technology for treatment are already here, if you treat it very well, even scaffolding, you know, building, bamboo can be used very well, and it can last for a very long time. So those kind of technology transfer, you know, it's lacking, and people, we should create awareness. Yeah, so people change their attitude towards bamboo and look at it like a really solid material that you can use for construction.
Yeah, and I think Gordon, we'll be coming to the value chain of bamboo, and you'll actually you know, give us more information in as far as technology is concerned.
Sure.
But I'm also interested in what INBAR is doing. You know, you said China, you know, they embraced bamboo long time ago.
Yes.
And one thing I understand is that there are different species of bamboo, and that is one thing that INBAR is trying to, you know, implement in Kenya. So maybe you could bring us up to speed with the different types of species and where are they planted?
Yeah, thanks, Marie. We had a program way back in early 90s that then was supported by IDRC, the Canadian Development Agency. And what we realized then as KEFRI was that the natural bamboo that we have is restricted in where it can grow. So of course, looking around, we found that there were other bamboos that could grow on, you know, low elevations, ranging from a coast like alluded earlier. And then of course, through that program, and with the restriction on, you know, harvesting bamboo on these mountain areas. Of course, people still wanted to use bamboo. A lot of it was being used for fencing. So we were supported, and we introduced quite a number of species, ranging from the coast up to the higher elevation areas. In total, we introduced over 20 species. Out of that, half have done very well in various ecological zones. We had trials at the coast around Malindi. We had trials within Muguga, where KEFRI is. We had trials in the western region, Kakamega, and also around the lake region. So we were just testing how can those species that we've introduced perform. And fortunately, quite a number have done very well. Out of, you know, over 20 are now growing, and some of them that the farmers have, you know, started growing at what we introduced. Of course, progressively through INBAR, with the support of a program that we are currently undertaking, supported by the Netherlands, the Dutch, and also the Chinese. We are, from time to time, bamboo also has a problem with seeding. They don't seed regularly like other trees. So that put some restriction on propagation or multiplying the seedlings. So sometimes you have to use vegetative propagation. You know, you use the cant like you do with the sugarcane.
Okay.
And for some bamboo, that does not also work out very well. So through this program, we've been able also to secure some seeds that we are now distributing to the communities we are working with to be able to raise seedlings for planting.
You know, what someone may ask right now, especially Kenya is battling drought right now in famine, and mostly in the northeastern region, you know, mainly dry and all that. And so if bamboo has this potential, for instance, you know, being able to revive streams which were dried up and all that, and has this potential to even conserve the environment. Are there any species that are adapted to
there are species. There's a species that we introduced from Ethiopia, this lowland bamboo. It's very good quality bamboo because it's semi-solid. Most of bamboos, if you look at the stem, is hollow, but this is a semi-solid bamboo. So if you want to put it into some good use, for example, if you're doing charcoal, then the density is even much higher for the kind of charcoal you're going to produce. So it's Oxtenanthera abyssinica, of course originally from Ethiopia. It can withstand drier conditions, of course, not extreme where there's no water, absolutely, but when there's just some light shower or some, at least, you know, it withers like it's dying, but just with a light shower, it picks up pretty fast. Apart from that, there's another species that we've also introduced which can withstand drier conditions, Dendrocalamus strictus. These are very good bamboo because they can grow in a hostile kind of environment where there's very little moisture.
Okay.
I'd like to add to that. There's a tree for every place.
Yes.
And bamboo doesn't grow in every specific place in Kenya. So when KEFRI and KFS have come out and mapped the whole country, there are specific places where bamboo will do better. From our own experience, when we grew bamboo in a slightly drier area, it didn't do as well as it would do in a wetter area. So I'd say between a minimum of 700 millimeters of rainfall is required for bamboo to thrive. So even if it's a drier varieties, we're not going to grow it in northeastern.
Okay.
So that one Jane has other solutions for. But because today we are focused on bamboo, I would say that bamboo would grow in anywhere where you can grow, you know, our highland areas, our water tower areas. It could also grow in where we can grow, you know, grass.
Yeah.
So you find that the bamboo, you want to grow bamboo where it can thrive, so that then also the people can get a return from it.
Okay.
So that's my contribution from, you know, from a farming perspective.
You know, and just like you're saying, growing bamboo where it will actually do better. Victor, you know, bamboo takes a short time to grow. So is this something that you're seeing is being adapted within the communities because of its benefit of the fact that it grows very fast, number one. Then it has other benefits, you know, when it comes to intercropping and all that. Is that something that is being adapted within the communities?
Thanks, Marie. First, let us look at every village in Kenya, even without this kind of discourse. Every village you walk to in Kenya, especially in high potential areas, you find a bamboo somewhere. And a lot of people in communities have grown bamboo for aesthetic value.
Yeah.
I mean, going to school when kenning was still the norm. Each one of us who went to school during those days have been kenned by a bamboo ken. So that means that even other than just the aesthetic value, perhaps the generation of the 70s and the early 80s, the discipline level that is within that generation was actually mentored by the bamboo. So,
and I think I remember
that notwithstanding,
people used to carry their own cane, if at all.
Oh yes, depending on the level of punishment you wanted, you'd bring your own bamboo cane.
Yeah.
So it is a matter of scaling it up.
Yeah.
It is a matter of getting the scale. It is a matter of government putting in the necessary infrastructure, which is already there now, to promote bamboo. It is a matter of training investment like Caro and Greenport to what is available in the market. It is a matter of getting our... Look at what used to happen before. You would... the Akamba craftsmanship. We were known for producing curios that we pushed out there. And I'm happy that today we are having a dialogue with some of the markets, like the Maasai market, and we are asking, can we have a bamboo market? And that is now taking shape.
Okay.
That in the next couple of months, we will now have a thriving bamboo market in Nairobi, and which may spread out to other areas, just like there is the Maasai market. Okay. Because when you look at the composition of the association, they are some guys who are doing amazing stuff out of bamboo. The creativity in the industry is at a level that you cannot imagine. You know, there are guys like Barry Studios who are doing amazing stuff. There is a group from Busia that is doing amazing charcoal briquettes. There are people from Vihiga, the Chiriki Tropical Gardens, who are creating amazing stuff. And even now, we are now prototyping on bamboo school desks, because what we are saying is government has to chip in. Look at all the dustbins that are in government offices, and they're all plastic. Just assuming government made decision and said, okay, we are going to promote the bamboo industry, and we need all our dustbins in offices to be made out of bamboo. That in itself just past that industry to pick up. And those are the kind of networks that we're trying to build with government so that we can have a takeoff in production.
Yeah, Victor, we'll be coming back to the value chain of bamboo, and hopefully you'll be able to hold that thought. And just to kind of cap on the climate mitigation and the ability of bamboo to do that. Dr. Jane, bamboo is also classified as renewable energy. So can you explain to us? Can you explain that to us, and how that in itself would actually work positively in as far as climate change mitigation is concerned?
Thank you, Marie. Again, in terms of renewable energy, we have been discussing about the fast growth of bamboo. And one of the most important factors of bamboo is managing bamboo. Because once you plant, it grows. Within 3-4 years, it's mature. And that mature culm has to be removed. And when you remove, what we have seen, our experience from research, when you remove one stem, you have 4 others coming in. So it is the fastest generating plant that we know, such that when you remove some, it regenerates almost immediately. In fact, some stem, the initial start to come even before they sense the old one is supposed to be removed. So they start to come up. So in terms of renewable energy, this is the place, this is where to go. And we know that a household with only 3 stems of bamboo can sustain its household energy. As Victor said, we are looking into value addition of bamboo. Because it is fast growing, we need to remove it very quickly so that we have as much briquettes or charcoal dust, because now the other use of the charcoal dust is in terms of the soil conditioning, the food production, the soil water conservation in agriculture. There are over 1,000 uses of bamboo as a crop. So in terms of renewable energy, you remove. The important factor is utilization and removing it at the right time, not keeping it, because we see people keeping, you see the old ones there, then they're all clumping together. The principle is to remove for sustainable management and utilization of bamboo as a regenerative crop.
Okay, so definitely working better than the normal trees, which if you cut, then the stem remains there, but bamboo is able to regenerate. Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, on the renewable energy perspective, bamboo is amazing because from an industrial perspective, many of the organizations that are working towards net zero by the year 2050, which means they want to be carbon neutral. In terms of the energy requirements, bamboo can really come into play. Starting with our tea sector, where they're the biggest deforesters because they use over 1.5 million metric tons of firewood every year for the curing of the tea that we are so proud of.
Mm-hmm.
If that could then be converted to a bamboo story, we can sell so much in terms of bamboo briquettes. Because bamboo briquettes have the highest calorific value of any, of any of the trees. And Jane can, can speak to that. But also, when you look at other industries, people like EABL are looking, can we get the bamboo chips to use to generate steam for our industry? Can we also ensure that all the other industries can do that? But more importantly, if we can use bamboo charcoal instead of regular charcoal, 70% of our Kenyans can stop cutting our indigenous forests and also have a livelihood by growing more and more bamboo. So when we think holistically, whether it's restaurants, whether it's the industrial, and whether it's our individual homes, even for our barbecues, using bamboo, there's such a huge potential in that.
Okay.
And just to maybe support the thought by Jen and Carol, you will not notice when bamboo is harvested from a nice, well-formed plantation. Because you walk in, you pick what is mature, and that is what you go and utilize. As opposed to solid trees, where you must do clear fell. You have to bring the entire forest down. So if a farmer has 2 acres of bamboo, and another farmer has 2 acres of eucalypts or pine, when they are all mature, the farmer with the pine or eucalypts will cut clear fell that area, and so it becomes open.
Yeah.
Whereas the farmer with bamboo would just go in and pick what is mature. So that way you don't interfere with the flora and fauna, you don't interfere with animals, insects, whatever is within that microclimate. And then the issue about energy. I mean, look at it. Today, people have to walk great distances in rural communities to go and fetch firewood. Yet, as Jen alluded to, you have a stem or 2 stems in your compound. You can actually utilize that, and you don't need to utilize the whole bamboo. You can use the leaves, you can use the branches, and you can use the top part of the bamboo and still commercialize your main culm, because we also do not want to start burning off our critical material, our best quality material, which is the main culm itself. So there are segments of the bamboo that we can use for household firewood, while we still sell our best quality material, which is the culm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carol, getting now to the value chain, you mentioned earlier about the factory. Is it being set up or is already being set up? And very soon, Kenya will be able to manufacture quite a number of items from there. Maybe you could actually talk to us about that. And especially when it comes to small things like toothpicks, really. Yeah.
Actually, I apologize on behalf of Kenyans for having to import toothpicks when we have the capacity to do this. It's not a huge investment. Our factory is actually a culmination of having grown the right variety of bamboo, as you heard, then having the plantations and recruiting farmers. You asked whether farmers are uptaking it. We have over 2,000 acres with farmers around 16 counties in this country, and now looking to commercialize. So our factory will initially produce wood products, all the way from the sticks line, which we call the sticks line, that will produce pens like this, that will also produce disposable cutlery. We have a ban on plastic, the use of plastic cutlery in our parks, and yet there are no alternatives. We can now have bamboo in our hotels and places like that. Again, all these things, when you go to a doctor and they say, those things we're going to produce them. Our ice cream sticks, our straws, all these things, we don't have them now. And then also moving on to more substantive aspects, like bamboo flooring. We all complain that, it's really cold to have a ceramic floor. Now we can have warm floors. We can have notebooks, like the one I have today, that are made from bamboo. And all this will be done in our factory in the next 1 year. I think for us as Kenyans, we have to have the right to be angry enough to say, look, let's support the people who are at the forefront of initiating this change so that then we can have these products. Let us choose Kenyan products over and above. Even our desks, all of us import desks from China. Why?
Yeah.
They can be done from bamboo. So it's having the guts to do it, having the confidence of our financial institutions to support organizations that are actually stepping towards commercialization and not asking, is there a market? We have the market. You know, a lot of people don't have that confidence. We have green funding that is available, but the quantum is in such large portions that it can only attract huge multinationals. If we are a hustler nation, let's also then support organizations such as ourselves that require much smaller bits. And also the other cottage industries that are coming up, so that then, as a country, we can move forward together and forget about all these imported products and be proud to be Kenyan.
Yeah, and now, Rita, I think you forgot to carry your socks, because we promised that you're going to bring us a bamboo socks made out of bamboo. So it's one of the, I mean, it's versatile. So apart from just, you know, making products like, you know, that you can use in terms of cutlery and all that, it's also being used in textile.
Actually, Marie, talking about bamboo, and just to support what Kara said, one, as an association, we're looking at what kind of intervention measures can we put together so that the taxation regimes for organizations or companies like Karos that require incentives can gather from government through the Treasury. But talking about the product line, today it is a sad story that every year we are talking about pan paper mills in Webuye that has ground to a halt because they don't have raw material. And yet, we are importing bamboo paper from China today, something that can be done by pan paper. We are all looking at how our textile industry, I think there was a KTM in Thika, there was Kikomi in Kisumu, and there's Rivertex, Raymond, and all those companies. If bamboo textile today is the most, bamboo fabric is the most expensive fabric in the world, yet as a region and sitting in the tropics, we have the best climate. Remember, the Chinese bamboo stands for about 6 months in a year, where it does not grow, because either it's too hot or it's too cold. We have a climate condition that allows bamboo to grow throughout the year. So our production is twice as high as that of the Chinese. So why can't we look at Kikomi? Why can't we look at pan paper mills? Why can't we look at all these other factories that have gone under? And Carol speaking about wooden flooring. Europe is not known to have any bamboo plantation, and neither does bamboo do well in Europe. So the European market is importing all the bamboo from China. Now look at where Kenya is placed vis-a-vis China to Europe. We are just around the corner from Europe. The ship that is coming from the port of Mombasa is running empty. All the ships are running back empty into Europe. So that means we can get very good freight rates if we are able to produce our own bamboo here and do the flooring that we are talking about. BMW today, the Jaguar and the Mercedes are doing the interior trimmings of their vehicles out of bamboo. So that means we have the high-end market that we can tap into. And what does that mean for this country? It means that we can inject in quite a lot of foreign exchange that we so need today. We do not need to import steel into this country, as Gordon said. We can use bamboo for our construction, and I'm happy that the National Construction Authority and the Architects Association of Kenya is now getting into this conversation. Board, yeah. How much shall we save? So when we start talking about the development of the value chain in Kenya, we can make it sophisticated at the level of export, at the level of production of these products, but we have to make it as simple as possible to the common mwananchi so that they know. Because the common mwananchi does not know how tea is produced, but they know how to produce tea leaves on their farm. So that is the same thing that we are aspiring as an association to put to the communities.
Okay.
And on a positive note, there's Africa Plantation Capital. They are investing at the coast, and they've started some plantations of bamboo, and that is geared towards textile industry.
Okay.
So at least there's some positive.
There's some
outlook.
positive. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And just closing, because I know our time is running out. I'll just give Gordon and Dr. Jane just to chip in a little bit in as far as fodder is concerned, because bamboo is just not for textile and and other products, but it can also be used as food. So maybe Dr. Jane, you can actually comment on that, and Gordon can comment on the fodder, and especially when it comes to the issue of drought.
Thank you, Marie. Yes, in terms of fodder, the whole part of a bamboo is useful, and bamboo is food in very many communities that we know. It is a delicacy in very many, especially Mount Elgon communities. It is a delicacy among them. We've been trying to get investors actually to grow edible bamboo for the country. So there's endless opportunities in terms of food. Bamboo is also used to produce vinegar, and we use vinegar in our kitchens, in our laundry, in all that. Bamboo is also used, it's herbal tea. It makes very good herbal tea, and then the tea is actually medicinal, not just food. It's also medicinal. So bamboo for universal health, food security, feed, and all that. Still can talk about the feed, but at KEFRI also we have models on how to cut and chop bamboo. You have bamboo chips, crisps also as well. You can produce a whole range of edible products from bamboo. And just in case I don't speak again, I just want to say that KEFRI exists also to capacity build stakeholders in every aspect of the value chain. And that's what we've been doing for the last 36 years, and we'll continue to do so that bamboo gets a wider adoption. We have programs in which we are working with the TVET and the prisons to, through our workshop in Karura, we run free trainings for anyone who is interested in bamboo.
Gordon, just in some seconds.
Yeah, just a quick one, especially if you, of course, lately with this drought, we've seen our wildlife dying. And bamboo is good food for the elephants, for the monkeys, for the gorillas, especially in Rwanda, Uganda. So bamboo is fodder for our wildlife and even our livestock. If you have bamboo, the leaves are good for your cattle, for your goats, for your sheep. So in terms of food, bamboo is really, it's good.
It's good.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being here and actually enlightening us in terms of bamboo, number one, as a climate mitigation, product, if I may call it, and also the versatile use of bamboo. I mean, I didn't know that bamboo can be used in textile. I would believe flooring and all that. I didn't know bamboo actually can be food. But at least I'm sure I'm not the only one who has learnt a lot. I'm sure our viewers also have learned quite a lot from today's discussion. We hope to have you again, really, to discuss this, because it doesn't seem like the time was really enough for us. So thank you so much, Victor, Dr. Jane, Gordon, and also Caroline, for being here today. So thank you so much also for tuning in, and I hope you did learn a lot, just like I did, about the benefits of bamboo, not just as an issue of climate change mitigation, but all the versatile use of bamboo, and hopefully it's something that you would actually have interest in adopting. So thank you so much for being with us this morning. My name is Marie Yambo. We hope to see you again next time.
Thank you. Thank you.
November like never before. Mouth-watering programs. Maza takes a break, and in comes football extravaganza. And a bouquet of the best of movies from the Orient lined up for you. Oh yes, November 2022 is like never before. Only on KBC Channel 1.
Ronaldo ananga dread, sawa? Kwa hivyo tuliza changamka. Okay. Changamka, tole chini, sawa?
Atafuta watu 10, alafu hao watapelekwa Qatar kukua kama security kwa World Cup.
Heshimu koti. Hapa ndio.
Oh, hii ndio koti.
Ndio nimepatana na Sagara.
Magizigizi.
Alikuwa nalipa nani? Silikuwa hapo chape. No, nani alikuwa na mipa ya receipt?
Niliuza kondoro, nikauza ng'ombe.
Hamkupata kitu yote.
Hakuna kitu.
Hakuna kitu.
Nini hakuna kitu?
Ofisi hakuna.
Shida yako ni tu kupelekwa majuu, si ndio?
Kwenda juu.
Mimi nilikuwa napelekana na majuu.
50,000. No, you and your secretary. What's nani alikuwepo? Hey, you young boy, come down.
Wewe.
I can do you very bad.
Heshimu koti.
Heshimu koti. Sawa.
Nasikia Joy liko in town. I think you should ask Mama Paul ama hata Tiffany.
Ask Tiffany what?
Pariza yote.
Alafu kwani ulikata maji gani?
Vodka, whisky, yote nikachanganyishwa hapo.
Tiffany, huyo hata hesisaidika.
Come on, I don't believe that.
Watu wao hata alimkataga. Na Mungu yani ukanitadika na wayuni.
Okay, boss.
Okay for lunch or...
I'll do it.
Good.
How do you find my cousin George?
I hope my cousin is not harassing you.
Anafaa ukujaga huku. Sijui ndio kwa sababu nakuuliza. Hata mimi sijui, niona niambia. Sasa una whisper kwa nini? Jote una whisper.
You're very hilarious.
Mimi kuwa kunywa si tafadhali. Mimi huwa kunywa kabisa. Ni dakika yote kazi ipatikane.
Don't do anything stupid.
You are under arrest for drug trafficking.
Turn him in after.
Yes, sir.
Kiswahili kitukuzwe.
Waswahili husema cha uvundo hakiliki, lakini hapa Lenana leo hakuna uvundo, chalika.
Zindo the sons of Mashariki, tajulikana hadi magharibi, na kama huamini tupe muda.
Na hakika kuwa hakuna mzazi anayeketi na mtoto wake na kumpea wosia au anayeketi na mzazi na mtoto wake na kumpea mawaidha yasiyofaa. Je, ni mzazi mgani atakayeketi na mtoto wake na kumwambia kwamba shiriki ufuska?
Mwenyezi Mungu mwenyewe alimpa mzazi juhudi la kumpa mwanadamu huyu mchanga mafunzo yake ya
Kitukuzwe kwani lugha ya
taking up the office, the Inspector General shall make
the programming at this moment to bring you the swearing-in ceremony of the new Inspector General of Police. That is Japheth Koome, who will be taking over from Hilary Mutyambai. If you remember very well, Hilary Mutyambai did resign on medical grounds, and the new IG, that is Japheth Koome, was vetted recently and approved by Parliament, and so he is being sworn in today. Presiding over that is the Chief Justice Martha Koome at the Supreme Court building. So he will be sworn in today, taking over from the acting Inspector General of Police right now, who is Nur Gabo. So we hand you over to the Supreme Court for the swearing in of the new Inspector General of Police, Japheth Koome.
Appointed the Inspector General of Police, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Constitution and the President of Kenya during my service in the National Police Service, without favor or affection, malice or ill will, that will at all times do my utmost to preserve the peace and to prevent offenses against the peace, that while I shall continue to hold the said office to the best of my skill and knowledge, discharge all the duties thereof faithfully according to the law. I will subject myself to the Constitution, all acts, orders, regulations, and now or in future relating to my service in the National Police Service, and that I will discharge all the duties of a police officer according to the law, without fear, favor, affection, or ill will. So help me God. I, Japheth Koome Chebere, do hereby swear by the Almighty God that I will not, without due authority, disclose or make known to any person any information acquired by me by reason of this of the duties performed by me on behalf or under the direction of the National Police Service, or by reason of any office or employment held by me pursuant to the National Police Service Act, so help me God.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I wish to congratulate the new Inspector General of the National Police Service. This brings us to the end of the brief swearing-in ceremony, but before we close, I wish to request the Inspector General of Police to come and make brief remarks. Inspector General, please. Yeah, the chair will come. Come first.
The President of the Supreme Court, Honorable Chief Justice of our beautiful country, Kenya, the Chairperson, National Police Service Commission, Bwana Eliud Kenovia, the Chairperson, Independent Police Oversight Authority, Madam Anne Makori, the commissioners, both from the Police Commission and the IPOA, the service commanders, the CEO, the staff of CEO, National Police Service Commission, members of staff of Judiciary, fellow police officers, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to start by thanking God, the Almighty God, for giving me the opportunity to appear before the Honorable Chief Justice and of course before Kenyans to take this very important oath. Secondly, thank His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, CGH, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces. Thank him most sincerely for finding me fit again to serve our country. Also thank the legislature, the Parliament, for approving my nomination. Honorable Chief Justice, I can imagine the responsibilities given to me by our people. I promise I'll do my best. I will not let this country down. However, I think it's worth mentioning, once in a while, I look at the social media when I want to maybe to follow on gossip going on. Once in a while, I look at the social media. Last night, I know there was a talk that I could discuss in the social media that Koome will be sworn in by Koome. A lot of issues, very interesting discussion. That CJ, is about a wife and husband, is about a brother and a sister. Anyway, I think those are good wishes. That is not the case. I have no blunt relationship with the CJ. It's only that she's married to one called Mekeragu, and I'm called Menchebere. So I thought, Honorable CJ, I make that clear to our fellow Kenyans. Because they're asking now the CJ and the Inspector General, brother and sister, is not the case. But CJ, Honorable CJ, she's a good role model. She's a good example to many of us. And Honorable CJ, we appreciate the efforts you are putting in terms of providing guidance to the whole criminal justice system. I don't intend to make a long speech. I know as Honorable Chief Justice another function immediately after this. Lakini ni kuambia Wakenya wenzangu, tuko na nchi ambayo ni nchi nzuri. Most of us have a number, I know quite a number of us here have traveled worldwide. I cannot imagine of any other country as beautiful as Kenya, where if you want to enjoy yourself on a beach, 45 minutes in Mombasa, you want a cold place, another 40 minutes you are Mount Kenya, where I've been serving as a commandant, National Police College Kiganjo. You want a desert, fly over Charibe Desert, take off from Lodwar, fly over Loyangarani, land in Marsabit. I've done it twice. The country is beautiful. Our people are warm. Kenyans generally are good people. I've been to some countries where, I'll not mention which countries, where people, even the smile is fake. The food is fake. But Kenyans, when a Kenyan smiles at you, it is from the heart. I recall when we had a big challenge with the corona, we were told not even to the shake. But a Kenyans will not listen, hear that, none of that. Will not listen, hear that. Mkenya anataka kusalimia wewe mkikutana mpaka kusalimu kwa mkono. Because our people are warm. We have a beautiful country. All of us, we have a responsibility to ensure we hold this country together. I wish to state na kusema ya kwamba tuko na maofficers wa polisi who are very professional. 98% we have no issues with them. Maybe just 2%. And we are really being assisted by the commission, the IPOA, other oversight bodies. Again, we have the critical mass within the police to manage the 2%. But we are very professional police service. Kwa hivyo hawa kora wako kule nje wanafikiria watatishia maisha ya wananchi. That will not happen. Mkora ambaye anafikiria atatembea na kisu huko nje, anadunga mwananchi na kisu kwa kisu. Mkora ako na bunduki, utafanya mwananchi mtukufu aumie. That will not happen. I'm from the college, that's why I've been the commandant. And I will tell you, our officers are very clear to when they are allowed to use a firearm. And it is in law, under the Police Act. 5 instances. When any police officer, his life is in danger, or any other person, the life is in danger, a police officer is justified to use a firearm. When protecting life or property, if there is imminent danger or threat, a police officer can use a firearm. If it is in self-defense or defense of another life, because of imminent threat from, to life or serious injury, a police officer can use a firearm. Anybody who is charged of having committed a felony, a serious offense, murder, rape, manslaughter, imprisonment for over where the law provides imprisonment over 3 years. That person attempts to escape, a police officer can use a firearm. Again, the last one, the 5th one. If a police officer has arrested somebody charged for having committed a felony. Then you attempt rescuing that person. You attempt, the law says, a police officer can use a fire. Therefore, the officers are aware. And any police officer who uses ace or a fire under those circumstances, we are there to protect that officer. Kwa hivyo tunaambia wakora, uko kule kwa estate, unasumbua wananchi kwa kudunga hao visu, kupiga watu risasi, it will not happen under my watch. I will have slept on the job. Wale kule wanaiba ng'ombe, actually it is livestock rustling, it is not cattle rustling. A lot of property destroyed, wananchi wanakufa, maofisa wanakufa. Our strategy now is to target the loans. We are calling them livestock loans. And we shall engage Parliament so that such people, they are dealt with for committing a terrorist act. The President has pronounced himself on this. Kile mimi nasema, all of us, let us enjoy our existence. Yale mali umetafuta kwa bidii, tutachunga hiyo mali. Yeyote anajaribu kuingia kwa mfuko wako, anachukua wallet yako, uko na rekbase umenunua ya dhahabu, anataka kuichukua, atapata cha mtema kuni. That is the message you are sending. As I take charge of the National Police Service, Honorable Chief Justice, criminals out there, please bear with me because you face it. We are not threatening anybody, but we are stating things as they are. Tunataka kusema ukweli. Tuende mashambani tulime, kila mtu ashughulikie aso yake, lakini si mambo ya kusumbua wengine. Otherwise, Honorable Chief Justice, once more, ni kusema shukurani sana. Mungu abariki nyote na Mungu abariki nchi yetu tukufu. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Inspector General of Police, for your remarks. Before I welcome the Honorable Chief Justice to make her remarks, let me take this opportunity to welcome the Chairperson of the National Police Service Commission, Mr. Kinuthia, to make some brief remarks.
Honorable Chief Justice and the President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, the Inspector General, National Police Service, the DIG, Kenya Police Service, DIG, Administration of Police Service, the Director, DCI, my colleague, Chairperson for IPOA, my colleague Commissioners, senior officers here, our friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. I am a very delighted person, Honorable Chief Justice, this morning. What have just progressed completes our setting as an institution. And when you see, as we sit here, with now the Office of the Inspector General already in place, the Deputy Inspector Generals, and DCI, and our oversight, IPOA, and the National Police Service Commission, complete what was envisaged in law as the independence of National Police Service. And we have an inbuilt mechanism to regulate this institution internally and externally. So I want to really thank you, because we are once again here. The other day we were here because of DCI, and we are once again here because of Inspector General to complete this institution so that we can function. Secondly, I want to thank His Excellency the President for his continued support and enabling environment that he has given us to operate as per the law. It is very important to note that we have that goodwill and we have that support so that the job before us, it is us to do it to the best of our capability without pointing or looking behind as to why we cannot perform. We have absolutely no reason to deliver. Finally, Inspector General have said very good words, and I'm happy Kenyans have heard from the man now on the helm of leading the National Police Service. We want to assure Kenyans that all our support as institutions is behind the National Police Service to ensure that the Inspector General deliver on his mandates. Time moves very fast. The other day we were here with the former Inspector General. You cannot believe it, we are again here with the new Inspector General. We were here for commissioners. We are now left with only 2 years, and you cannot imagine, time can move very fast. Inspector General, there are issues, and you've spoken very well for Mwananchi. Allow me to just mention a few one for you because you are a police officer. This police officer, Honorable Chief Justice, they serve the people. They have only the commission to look after their welfare. They have the only commission to spend a night and day thinking how they are better because they have given it all to the Mwananchi. I want to assure you, Inspector General, your welfare first and that of officers will be our first priority at the Commission. And we want to work together to make sure that the issues officers have raised, and there are issues that have been there, and we need to ensure that they are brought to a conclusion. We have the issue of the universities and the police officers pursuing higher academic levels, which is their right. But we must keep to the doctrine of the institution. We must not convert police to be a training that you go to the university as an undergraduate course and the degree determines your positioning. Honorable Chief Justice, this is a unique institution. The moment we disorganize the ranking order, we have no police. So I encourage police officers to pursue because it's within their right, but when you come back, allow us to also tell you the limit of number of inspectors in the establishment that we can take. And when we cannot take any more, please allow us to create opportunity and to also allow you to attend at least SOIP course for the inspector, so that you don't fly from constable and we give you a responsibility that you cannot manage. However, we know there are times we had a corrective measure, at one time corrective measure, and we allowed a number to boost up a level of inspectors. For those one, we will oblige to the law. And I ask Inspector General to give that a priority so that we reduce the feeling of affection or disregard among police officers that they can serve. The other very key important matter, we just finished a medical assessment of police officers. For those who are disabled, maimed in the line of duty. We have a number in the report that we will be asking the Inspector General to allow lighter duty. And others we may pursue an encouragement on medical ground to allow those who can work, because this is a job that the minimum requirement is physical fitness. That one we cannot compromise. But as a commission, we are considerate that we got each of these men and women from homes whole, straight, handsome and beautiful. They may be limping now, but that's not the way we employed them. So we are considerate for those who have various ailments, and we will continue supporting them until when we can be able to reach a time when we allow them to also rest together with the others in the society. So that is the second priority, the issue of disability among officers, but majority are good for the job. For exercising disciplinary control, the 2%, while we commend the 98% that Inspector General have said, we will be very hard on the 2%. And this, as a commission, we have resolved that we will not delay disciplinary cases brought to us by the Inspector General at the commission. We will act immediately, but we'll also do diligence to allow a fair administrative action for the officer who is accused, so that he can appeal or have redress, so that we can hear what is really the matter. For those that we ask you to give them a second chance, Inspector General, please bear with the commission. For those that we also agree with the boards and the orderly room proceedings of police officer, that they deserve to be given another duty to do other than policing, then we will also communicate that as appropriate. So, Honorable Chief Justice, it is my pleasure to say we are very happy as a commission. The law is clear that once you are an Inspector General, you are a commissioner of the National Police Service Commission. Today, he has subscribed to 2 oaths, because he has to become an Inspector General first, then become a commissioner. We will be kindly asking you shortly or thereafter that we have the Inspector General to also allow him to take the oath of office as a commissioner of National Police Service Commission, so that we can be complete, because he holds a key part in the commission. We all agree, and we thank the institution of Judiciary for their support. We now have a Principal Administrative Secretary, National Police Service. Is a new office, and is an office that is going to go a long way in ensuring financial autonomy and independence of the National Police Service. I spoke with Madam Banis, who is holding that office, and she sent her apology for this function, because she was supposed to be among this team, and in the future we'll be able to be together and do the work together. My colleagues, the whole country is looking at us. We have now been given higher independence than we have experienced before. Let us not let this country down. Let us not let our appointing authority, His Excellency the President, down by delivering what the Kenyans expect. With these few remarks, I thank you, Madam Honorable Chief Justice, and I thank you, everyone, for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chairperson of the National Police Service Commission. Thank you for your remarks. It's now my humble duty to welcome the Honorable the Chief Justice to deliver her remarks. Welcome, Chief Justice.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Deputy Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Bwana Paul Ndemo, for presiding over this ceremony this morning. Allow me to recognize our Inspector General, Mr. Japheth Kome Chebere, the Chairperson of the Police Service Commission, Mr. Kinubia. It's always a pleasure to have you here and to listen to you talk. And our distinguished Deputy Inspector General of Police, Mr. Ngabo, Mr. Mbogura, and our DCI, all the commissioners of the commission, the police commission, my friend Anne Makori, who is the chairperson of IPOA, Karibu Sana, our distinguished guests this morning, members of the press, a very good morning to you. and very, very warm welcome to the judiciary. We apologize for our humble facility. We hope in future we will have a grand Supreme Court there with an amphitheater where we can accommodate you comfortably. So bear with us this morning. We want BIG to go to work. So we do not even have time to arrange to have a huge ceremony, which we could have had in a tent, the way we normally do things. So this morning, we just accommodated you here where we do our things in a very, very humble way. But thank you so much for coming. I wish to congratulate our Inspector General, Mr. Japheth Koome-Chebere, on your appointment and swearing in. And thank you for clarifying that you are not my blood relative. You should also have said the name Koome in Meru is like Wafula, Onyango, Kamau, Mohammed in other places. It's a name that is loved by many people. In fact, it means one who is very clever. That's why it is loved by many people. So I hope the social media will correct that. Your appointment, IG, has come at an exciting time within the justice sector, where also under the auspices of the National Council on the Administration of Justice, all of us, we are actors in the justice sector, have embraced this principle of cooperation and collaboration to ensure efficiency in the criminal justice sector. We have all recognized that none of us can make it alone. It is a shared responsibility, not only with the actors within the criminal justice sector, the judiciary, the police, the prosecution, but also the people themselves. We partner with them because we serve them, and therefore we do this together. It is such a collaborative approach that fosters coordination and cooperation amongst the investigative, prosecution, and judicial bodies that will ensure that our justice will operate optimally. Our hope, Bwana IG, is that you will lead the police service in participating robustly in the initiative geared towards the reforms of the criminal justice sector. We are working very well under the auspices of the National Council on the Administration of Justice at the end quarter level. At the court level, we have a very robust court user committee that links up with the Nyumba Kumi so that no one is left behind. At the Nyumba Kumi, we are training the leaders there to take charge of the units, to make sure that our children are well guided. Our youth are also guided and counseled towards meaningful engagement. You know the challenges we are facing, the challenges of drug abuse, the challenges of radicalization of our youth, and this is nothing that can be achieved by one agency alone. It doesn't matter how well resourced or professional you are as the police, we must work with the people. The people are central, and indeed we have the best constitution in the world that tells us power, the sovereign power of this country resides in the people, and the people have just given us that power so that we serve them, so that when you see a police officer, that authority is exercising comes from the people he is serving. So he should handle them with care and with humility, because indeed they are the bosses. But I think we have not even read the Constitution or appreciated it, so that we look at ourselves as the bosses. We are not the bosses. The people are the bosses. So this collaboration will enable us to enhance and consolidate these reforms aimed at reinvigorating the effectiveness of the criminal justice system and ensuring that the system operates in a manner that is ingraining the human rights perspective and is actually friendly in accordance with our Constitution. Wananchi, I also urge you to champion the constitutional dream of democratic policing. This is the Kenyan dream for a police service that serves the people and upholds professionalism. I'm happy you have mentioned professionalism, because no police officer is trained to abuse the power, to abuse the rights of Kenyans, to harm the Kenyans. I even took time to read the police service, what do you call it? The police standing order. I read it and I saw it is there provided that a police officer cannot take illegal orders. A police officer cannot act on illegal orders. So I believe many of them will have very many answers to give if they have acted and taken illegal orders. We are confident that Wananchi, your tenure, will be marked by a police service that is known for upholding the rule of law and above all is accountable to our people and is associated with protecting the safety and the rights of all citizens. This morning, your team is scheduled to meet with the Judiciary team working on the social transformation through access to justice blueprints, because we are really cascading our service delivery to be people-centered, even as the judiciary. Because we are asking ourselves, who are we serving? It is the people. And this is critical conversation as we work towards synergizing and strengthening collaboration to better serve our people. And we thank you for availing time for this conversation and for the future engagement, because we want to see how that vision that we have been sharing with the Kenyans within the last 1 year can now cascade to the level of the community ownership and of the people ownership, and how we can partner with the people genuinely, because justice cuts across everybody, and everybody wants to experience justice. Everybody wants to experience fairness. Even when they have committed a crime, they need to be treated humanely and dealt with within the tenets of the law. Lastly, Wananchi, the oath which you have taken today will guide you in your day-to-day work. According to the oath, you must never depart from the law. In addition, the oath equally requires you to serve this country to the best of your abilities, and bearing in mind the enormous responsibility placed upon you. And thank you very much, Chairman of the Police Commissions Service, Bwana Kinuthia, for assuring our officers that their welfare is being taken care of. I commend you for that, because as we put them forth to go and offer their life, their service, their professionalism, we need to take care of their welfare. Because they are, at the end of the day, they are our brothers, they are our sons, and we care for them as well. So I will also be joining you to call upon Kenyans to be also kind and sensitive to our police officers and to treat them with kindness. So with those few remarks, I wish you well in your new appointment, And I pray that God will continue to guide your work and to shine His light upon you, and will bring all the right people and the right tools and equipment, whatever is required for you to undertake this onerous responsibility that has been bestowed upon you. Thank you very much, and all the best.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice, for those illuminating and inspirational remarks. This now brings us to the end of our ceremony today. We are going to have a brief photo session right outside, and I'll kindly request that we make room for the Inspector General and team and the Chief Justice to make it to the stairs.
Well, and there you have it. The new Inspector General of Police, Japhet Koome, has been sworn in at the Supreme Court buildings and has, which was presided over by the Chief Justice Martha Koome. The new IG making some promises there, saying that he will be, he is grateful for being appointed, and that he will actually champion a police service that will uphold human rights, in the sense that no rogue police officer will be entertained in the service, and that they will be dealt with, including criminals and even cattle rustlers. The new IG also promised that he will be able to support Kenyans in all matters security, in terms of property and all that. So the new Inspector General of Police there, Japhet Koome, making promises, ensuring that Kenyans they coexist peacefully in the country. Even saying that Kenya is one beautiful country that he cannot compare to any other, which has freedom of movement. So we'll be bringing you more of this particular story in the swearing in of the new Inspector General of Police, Japhet Koome, today at the Supreme Court building in Nairobi. The Chief Justice Martha Koome also speaking during the swearing in and calling for collaboration, in the criminal justice sector between police, the judiciary, and even the prosecution, and even asking Kenyans to give the National Police Service much support when it comes to delivering their mandate, that is security. The Chief Justice also talking about hoping that the new Inspector General of Police, that is Japhet Koome, will be able to champion a police service that upholds human rights. We know very well that the issue of extrajudicial killings has been a thorny issue, and so probably that is why she also is putting it out there, and that she hopes that Kenyans can also show some kindness to the police, even as they discharge their mandate. So we will be bringing you much more of this on the swearing in of the new Inspector General of Police, that is Japhet Koome, in our subsequent bulletins. So you do not want to miss that, especially at 1 o'clock. Well, that is it for now. I want to hand you over back to Mashav, who are in Mombasa with the entertainment segment. So until later on, it's goodbye for now.